Welcome back, everybody, to Ready, Aim, Live. I'm Jose.
And I'm Wes. And this week, we're going to go ahead and dive into some of the solutions and opinions that we have on the most recent school shooting that happened in Uvalde, Texas, that claimed the lives of 19 students and 2 adults.
Guys, it's always a tragic incident and very unfortunate when people have to lose lives. But we want to give you guys our 7 solutions for school shootings.
So we're just going to go ahead and dive right into some of our ideas. And in the comment section below, at the very end of the video, let us know what your opinions are, because we would love to hear it, but this is just going to be ours to begin with. And the first one's going to be armed security at schools.
Armed securities at schools. I know that's one big thing that is pretty controversial, but for example, you said that at your son's school there is a security guard. So there's some schools that are already doing this, and they're making it seem like it's not, but there are some schools that are already taking this measure.
Yeah, and he's completely, independent person. He's not with, the sheriff's department or anything like that. He does have plates on. He does have a handgun right on the side of his hip, and he's ready to go at all times. He's there for arrival of children. He's there for dismissal. He's there all throughout the day for any sort of incidences that could happen, especially in the day and age that we're in. But that is just the beginning to some of the solutions that we have. Another one would be to have exits and entrances that are locked from the inside, so that the only way for these doors to be opened is if a teacher walks out of a door and it locks right behind her as soon as she walks out.
A lot of schools around us have already been implementing this, having those where you only have one way to come in. Like you said, they'll have a buzzer at the door. You have to buzz that, and then they'll ask you, what are you here for? Or you might have to tell them or give them some ID before you can even enter the school. So there's already some schools that are taking these precautions. It's just a matter of getting all these other schools out there taking note and taking follow, doing the same exact things. Another thing is that we can definitely put in there is funding more for security itself.
Yes.
Like I said, that same thing where you have to scan in, sending more money to these schools that they can actually afford that extra security is going to go a long way and help.
Well, and that really goes into even some of these lower income areas that, don't get the right funding to be able to do this security because maybe their test scores aren't high enough. Maybe there's other things that are going on that causes them to not get the right funding that they need. But at the end of the day, if we want to protect schools, this, at least in Florida, because I can't speak for the whole country because everyone's got different laws, but at least in Florida, to have this security measures implemented would be huge, would be a step in the right direction. I don't know if maybe Florida's already, because I know my son's school already has a lot of these security measures in place with the locked doors, the check-ins, security guards so far. But I would really love to see this in a lot of different schools.
And the other thing that we have here too is there's only one main entrance into the school. You have to go one main way to get in. So, unfortunately in Uvalde, a back door was propped open, probably because the school was low budget, and it was probably hot in the classroom, and the teacher probably wanted to cool the kids down. I've been in there before. I remember those days in school. And for something like that tragic to happen, can't have that. One entrance only, and then having that security to see anyone coming through that one entrance. This common sense solutions right here.
Yeah, and, really, I know this is going to be a controversial topic, and I'm sorry that we even have to bring it up, but these incidents are happening in our country, and we got to talk about it. But it would be to actually have teachers that are trained and able to actually have firearms on their person during school hours inside school.
Going into that, there's one thing you said there too. With that goes the training.
Yes.
That's another thing we need to get down is we need the training. Yeah, no one wants to do training for a school shooting. Okay, we don't want to do trainings for fire drills or tornado drills either. Kids don't want to do that either. You have to get that training. You have to get that going. And the teachers, that's the main thing, training these teachers on what to do if something were to happen and spending the extra money for that training. And as Wes said, if there are certain teachers that can carry, they already have training done to carry. Maybe putting them into another extensive class that goes into concealed carrying as a teacher. There's so many different things that people can collaborate on this and make these more common sense solutions instead of everything going political into common sense gun violence or all the issues that we're having. We can all find that common ground here. It just needs to be done.
Yeah, we don't think that, getting rid of handguns like, Canada has done so far, like we've mentioned in a previous video,
Mm-hmm.
them banning the sale of handguns isn't going to be the answer. The answer is to learn from mistakes that have happened and to build upon them. So building upon them, go ahead and get the right funding. Like we've already said,
Mm-hmm.
train teachers on, how to properly, have a firearm in school. These are all things that we can learn how to, build upon for the future.
And I'm not trying to get political here, but if you could send 40 million to Ukraine all the time, I think we can put some more money into our schools. People have no problem with security guards being at a bank or being at a jewelry store protecting shiny rocks and then paper money. But it's a problem when we want to protect the most fragile thing, our children. We love our children. That they are so gracious. Why would we not want to protect them? Yeah, you really got to think about that. We have no problem without our current day-to-day lives. If you walk into a bank, there's a security guard with a gun, you don't even think twice. Why can't it be the same way at school?
And rolling into our last little point here, disclaimer, this may be even more of a upsetting opinion here, but to allow parents to actually be able to carry firearms in their vehicles, not just walking around, picking up kids out of their vehicles, but in their vehicles being allowed to actually have a firearm that they legally own and, that they can have on premise in case something like this was to happen again in one of these cities across the nation.
Like I said, common sense solutions. And another thing, too, I think we need to point out is we need to start holding police and first responders accountable, for stopping these threats. Like when these threats aren't being neutralized in a fashion that they should have been. I mean, there's something that needs to be done here. Obviously, there's a lot going on. They're still looking into it with the whole Uvalde, the very unfortunate thing. But, it really does come down to holding these first responders accountable. Like, this is what they signed up for. This is their job, is to protect us. We shouldn't have to wait 30 minutes, an hour to even know if we can even go into a school or not. It's just, people need to be held accountable for these things at the end of the day.
Well, and I know there's a lot of liability that goes into that. There's lots of chain of command that happens with police officers, and there's a lot of liabilities of even letting parents walk into the school if there is. I heard that they were keeping parents from going inside the school.
Yeah.
Even if they wanted to go rescue their children.
Ooh, I would have ran in.
I understand that there's a lot of things that could go wrong with that, but at the same time, you're gonna have to do something in those situations because if these situations happen, you can't just say we have to stand here and do nothing and then allow parents to do nothing. You gotta let somebody do something. Something has to be done immediately. You are a first responder. You are a police officer sworn to protect at all times. That is your number one goal. As a parent, it is my number one goal to protect my child, even when I'm hoping that the police are supposed to protect them. Even when they can't, I have to protect my child. And I don't know. I can't speak for all those parents, but there's no way that you would have kept me out of that school. I would have found a way in. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I would have been like, listen, buddy, I'm sorry, dude. I'll die going in there trying to save my kid and other children. Like, if you guys are not going to go in there, I'm going to go in there. End of story. But guys, we really want to know your feedback, your opinions on this matter. Even if we do have some police officers that are watching this and more about your chain of command, like give us some useful hints or things that we might not know about that cause that reason for a delay. Give us that information. Anything else you guys know that we may have missed, put it down below in the comments. Let us know. Let us see it. We love everything you guys have been saying and keeping up with us. All the feedback, it's been amazing. You guys are awesome.
Well, don't forget, guys, we got videos coming out every Friday, and we even have videos on Saturday at 10 a.m. for Self-Defense Saturday. We got all kinds of content on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Got all kinds of stuff out there in the description below. We actually have a link tree that you can get to all that social media at one click and be able to just explore all the stuff that we're doing. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment in the section below. Share with all your friends. Maybe they got opinions on this subject. Maybe they want to, get more informed on the things that are going on around them. And always remember, guys,
who's got your six?